Hit the record button.
What were we talking about?
I gotta do the MyBookie
Okay.
intro, and I wish that text was bigger.
MyBookie.com.
Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun. Whoa, that's too big. Bum 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 bum. There we go.
Oh man, my leg hurts.
Ouch, my leg. All right. All right, guys, let's take a minute to shout out the sponsor of tonight's episode, which is MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is the place to bet on football every single weekend. They have better bonuses and more prop bets than any other sports book, period. This year, they're hosting the first online handicapping super contest. First place is guaranteed to win at least $100,000, and it only costs $100 to enter. Of course, that's not all that they have, but that is the big creme de la creme on MyBookie as we speak. But all you got to do is pick 5 NFL games against the spread every week to climb the leaderboard, and score your share of the huge cash prize pool. I would only recommend a service to my listeners that's been good to me, which MyBookie has been. That's why MyBookie is always the right play. You bet, you win, they pay. And remember, you get up to $1,000 from your first deposit as a bonus. You deposit $1,000, they double it, you get $1,000. So if you do 500, you're going to get 500 just by entering the promo code BACK, BACK. So visit MyBookie online today. That's MyBookie, MyBookie, and don't forget to use the promo code BACK when creating your account to claim the bonus. Bet, win, get paid. Bet, win, get paid. Was that a good ending to MyBookie? Bet, win,
I think so.
get
I like it.
paid.
I like it. So, to kind of finish up on the recap of the week, Scary Terry McLaurin. You buying it?
Buying. There's really not many wide receivers on Washington I'd want to own. Trey Quinn did well.
Yep.
Terry McLaurin, he looked good. When a rookie looks good in game one, just like we talked about Hollywood Brown, Josh Jacobs, Terry McLaurin is there. I mean, he looked good game one. You can't be scared to go after a guy like Terry McLaurin.
All right.
Consistency could be an issue maybe, but you got to take the chance.
AJ.
I take the chance. A.J. Brown was
Hollywood.
my top-rated receiver going into the season.
Same here.
So I'm sticking with him.
Hollywood.
Better than I thought he would be. So, sure.
The thing about Hollywood is, so you're always concerned, does that speed translate, as a game changer in the NFL? It looks to. Out of those three, who you taking?
Oh, man.
My heart says Terry McLaurin, but my mind says Hollywood.
I say Terry McLaurin just because of the Redskins. Even though they looked okay, I still think they're going to be playing from behind more than any other team, and Terry McLaurin gets the most consistent looks.
Yeah, but who has the best quarterback? Probably Hollywood.
Yeah.
Case Keenum didn't look bad.
Didn't look 5 touchdowns.
T.J. Hawkinson, another week 1 rookie standout.
Buying it all day, every day.
Yeah, you can get him for.
You're finally over.
No, listen. I thought he was going to be good. I just didn't realize he was going to be that good. I'm still buying Fant. I still think Fant outperforms him at the end of the year. But, dude, for what he did, hell yeah, give me some Hawk.
Give me some Hawk. Let's do one more before we move on to our starts and sits for week 2. Michael Gallup.
Buying it.
Where are you at on Michael Gallup?
I said he was going to lead the Cowboys in receiving.
Just asking.
Obviously buying it.
You're supposed to remember this stuff.
My God, remember everything Arms says or else.
He says so much, it's hard to remember.
You're right. You guys want to sit back over there together?
Let me see.
But no, I mean, Gallup looks like a nice compliment to Amari Cooper week 1. We'll see.
I don't think he's a compliment. I think he's going to be the feature.
He could be.
He looked great.
Yeah. The whole off. I mean,
All right.
the whole offense looked
Yeah,
good.
the whole
But
offense,
then
it was
again,
on
I mean,
point. I was expecting
Zeke was
Zeke
kind of not
doing what you expect somebody who hasn't been working
Right.
out with the team to do.
Yeah.
You know, even though he's an elite talent, I mean, he hasn't been there.
I think that changes this week.
I agree.
I think they run all over Washington.
I was pretty fading on Zeke last week. Like, I didn't put him in any DraftKings lineups.
I had him in one. Just
Had him in none. Had no
just
desire
try.
to take the chance on him. So, what about last one, Josh Jacobs?
No brainer.
Okay.
Roll with him.
yeah.
You got to. Running back, any running back that is the guy you roll with, he's the guy. So let's dive in.
Bro, one thing, Josh Jacobs or Kerryon Johnson?
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
And I like carry on. I don't believe the Lions are going to be good enough to give him consistent.
But do you think the Raiders are?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like,
What
You're
I'm
telling me the Lions
Good
aren't going to
enough,
be good
no,
enough,
but he's going to get the touches because they don't have a whole lot else.
yeah.
Okay.
And for some reason, Detroit wants to give C.J. Anderson double-digit carries. I don't know why.
You've got a Patriots coach in Detroit
Okay.
that's going to play the Patriots game, just like Miami's Brian Flores is eventually going to play that Patriots game. I like carry on, but I definitely think that Josh Jacobs is a bell cow, whether they play a different game or not.
I just need to know where I need to make some trade offers.
I'd go Jacobs. I mean, that's nothing against carry on. I just at this point, which is only week 1, I do have more trust in Jacobs because I think when a running back in Oakland is getting the ball handed to him, it's Jacobs. In Detroit, I don't know which running back's getting the ball on any given play.
And one
I
thing
am-
I will say about go
ahead.
ahead.
Well, I'm interested to see in a game that I expect them to be down against the Chiefs, if how much they involve Jalen Richard or if they leave Jacobs on the field. I'm interested to see how they divide that up.
I don't have it in front of me, but I believe he caught a few passes, so it wasn't just.
No, but they were playing with the lead, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want to see what they're doing playing from behind, but
That's what she said.
And one other thing, like the Oakland running game, their offensive line's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not.
it is.
It's not like it's ever been awful. It's just they didn't have enough pieces to make it, viable. Really. Now, I mean, they made some moves and kind of revamped it. I mean, that's a good offensive line. They got good pieces there.
Ready for some starts and sits week 2?
Yep.
You ready for the end of the show with some DraftKings picks week 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Arms, lead us off. Who you got? Let's roll the let's roll a round of starts and then we'll roll a round of sits.
All right. I'm going to start with James White. I think James White, the Patriots are going to be up tremendously. Obviously, there's always the concern about Sony Michel. Are they going to reserve him a little bit? In a game that they're up, who are they going to give the ball to whenever they're up by 20?
I like where you started. We'll roll running back starts is what we'll do. So keep going.
I think James White has a chance to be a top 5 running back once you factor this week. Once you factor in the catches he's going to get, he gets plenty of targets, and the extra rushing he's going to get by being up. I know they've got Burkhead. I know they got Damian Harris. I almost said Williams. But I know they've got other guys there, but I just feel like White's going to have a monstrous game. I don't know why, other than the fact Miami's bad, but I just think that he's going to be the it factor on that offense this week.
I'm on the other side of that. I got Sony Michel as a start this week.
Okay.
So, he obviously looked terrible week 1, but I think playing with the lead, I think you can see him multiple touchdowns, 100 yards this week.
I like Devin Singletary this week.
I thought it was going to be like Rex Burkhead.
No, Devin Singletary against the New York Giants that, we still think it's going to take them a while to actually do anything decent. I think Buffalo has a chance to get up on New York pretty quickly. I think Devin Singletary showed that he should be the guy that at least gets 60% of the workload. I love Devin Singletary this week against New York. I think even if you've got a Gio Bernard, a Matt Beretta, a carry on even. I'm gonna go Devin Singletary. I think he has a really nice week 2, and I think you should plug him into your lineups.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Singletary this
Go
week.
Bills.
I think
I hope.
I think it's going to be a fairly close game.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a competitive
Giants.
game.
I think Giants will. It'll be a close game. The spread's only 1.5, so it's going to be pretty close.
Running back sit.
Marlon Mack.
I agree. You took mine.
I
I'll come up with another one after Hux, but yeah, Marlon Mack for me as well.
I feel like they can stack the box, and I mean that the defense is pretty good. They looked good last week.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
So I just don't like the odds of Mack being able to after the monstrous week 1 he had. He's going to be, particularly in like a DFS type play, he's going to be overpriced. I'm staying away from Marlon Mack at this point.
I'll go. I got a couple here, but I'll just name one. I'll go Adrian Peterson. I think they're going to be playing from behind. I think you'll see more Chris Thompson.
I like sitting Leonard Fournette, not just because I always like sitting Fournette, but
You hate Leonard Fournette.
I know. But Houston, they look good. They look pretty good. Kenny Stills caught a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins caught 2. Duke Johnson can get it done. Carlos Hyde was getting it done. I don't think Jacksonville's going to hang around in this game, and they've got to be either within 7 or ahead 7 for Fournette to get meaningful amount of carries.
He was involved in the passing game last week.
He was, but
They've stressed all offseason that he was going to be involved more in the passing game.
still sitting him with no reservations. I'm sitting Leonard Fournette.
I don't hate it, just merely on the fact that I do feel like it's probably going to be it's going to be a 3-score game. It's not going to be nearly a 3-score game. It's going to be a 3-score game.
Whew.
I don't think so.
Who was your sit, Hux? Adrian Peterson. Okay. Start whatever position you choose, Arms.
I'm firing up Michael Gallup this week. Not because of what he did last week, but because of what Deshaun Jackson did last week. Like, he's playing Washington. Jackson just carved him up. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Michael Gallup at this point in his career is better than Deshaun Jackson, but they do some similar things. And I'm coming around on Dak. I don't think he's great, but I do think that the amount of weapons that he has, the development of Michael Gallup, I think that he could have another fine week. I'm predicting over 100 yards and a touchdown this week. Another 7 to 8 catches.
Hux.
I'm gonna go with Allen Robinson. I think the Bears passing game looks a little bit better this week. Even he had a good week 1, but I just think Trubisky and the whole offense as a whole look better this week, and I think he'll be similar numbers as the week 1. I think he puts another good stat line up.
I'm gonna go with a guy since I went with Fournette as a sit. I'm gonna go with a guy that's not one of my guys as a start. I wouldn't be afraid of the week 1 production for Brandon Cooks. New Orleans, Los Angeles. I know it's a new year, but this game still has the makings of a shootout.
Oh yeah.
Brandon Cooks comes back in a big way in week 2. I think you plug in Brandon Cooks over a litany of wide receivers you might have thought of before. Brandon Cooks over Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I like Cooks over Galladay. I like Cooks over anyone in San Francisco, anyone in New England, anyone in Miami. I think Cooks is a good play this week, a real sneaky play, because a lot of people are going to sit him. Just because he didn't do anything, they're going to be like, well, Cooper Kupp, well this, well that. Brandon Cooks is going to have a big game, I believe, against the Saints.
Too much to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Robert Woods as one of my starts. I think that's going to be a shootout, like you said. I think that Rams passing attack looks really good this week.
Woods is just a very safe. He's a good safe play.
I mean, odds are if you have Robert Woods, you're probably starting him anyways.
That dude's vanilla ice cream, though. Like, hey, do you want ice cream? Sure. What do you have? I'll take chocolate. Well, we don't have vanilla. Okay, I'll take vanilla. Yeah, it's Robert Woods. Like, you know what you're getting,
yeah,
and it's good.
Yeah. Arms, you got a wide receiver sit for us.
I don't have a wide receiver sit, but I do have. I have multiple running backs.
You can come up with a wide receiver sit. I know you can.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to. My next sit's going to be David Johnson.
Okay, we can go there.
I'm sitting David Johnson because you have someone better on your bench. Like, you probably paid first-round price for him, but
No.
this Baltimore team allowed 21 rushing yards last week. 21 on 12 carries. Like, 1.8 yards a carry. This is a damn good rushing defense.
It
that
is,
whole team
but
is good.
Arizona is better than Miami.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. But
David Johnson's better than anybody on that team.
David Johnson caught a 27-yard touchdown pass, none of which was after the catch. It was all
Now,
air.
Yeah, David Johnson, he might have 20 yards rushing, but I think he's going to have 6 to 8 catches.
I don't think he's going to have the game you need out of a first-rounder.
I think he's going to
I
surprise.
don't think you have anybody better on your bench. Is what I'm saying.
No. Yeah, I think you start him. I think he runs for 75 yards and catches 5 to 7 balls for another 75 yards. David Johnson's back.
I think you've got someone better on your bench.
He's back, baby. He's back.
No?
Yes, I've got him on every team, but he's back.
Hey, I'm not going to pull the homer picks there. I just don't think he's going to have a good game. I think they're going to be behind. Yes, I know he's involved in the passing game, but I think it's going to have to be downfield for them to even be close to in the game.
Gotcha. Well, I'll give another sit then. Denver running backs. I don't trust them against Chicago at all. I like Royce Freeman this year. I still think Phillip Lindsay's a good player, but against Chicago, I'm not firing either one of those guys up unless you have no choice.
Well, that was one of my sits, so I'll kind of add on to that real quick.
How many is he going to do, Hux?
I don't know.
I'm just helping prove your point, man.
Phew.
Um,
You want to go have a beer?
Chicago
Hux?
only allowed 47 rushing yards on 22 carries, and it was a close game. This is probably not going to be a close game. You know,
What game's that?
Chicago, Denver.
Oh.
I think they're going to get up on Denver.
You don't believe in Joe Flacco?
It's in Denver. I think Denver
did,
will
but
keep it relatively close.
even,
like the Bears to
even
win.
still, I don't think there's much of an argument that the Packers' offense is better than Denver's
yeah.
offense.
Definitely.
All right, I just don't trust that either back can get
Oh,
more
yeah, I'm
than
s-
10 carries.
No, I'm sitting Denver running back. I agree.
So,
I'll go with a wide receiver sit.
isn't it Hux's turn?
It could be.
Yeah, go ahead, Hux. Go ahead.
You want wide receiver or running back?
Wide receiver.
This may be unpopular. I don't know. I'm sitting John Ross this week against the Niners.
Sit John Ross every week.
Yeah, but people are going to play him this week.
Those people are wrong.
But I think he has a kind of a regress. I mean, he's not going to put up 150 yards this week, 2 touchdowns or whatever he did. But I'm sitting him this week. I don't have any shares of him, but I'd sit him this week.
I'm gonna go with another guy that I'm not fond of, and I'm sorry that I don't have anything more original than this, but I'm sitting Tyler Lockett. That
He
Seattle
might not play anyways.
that Seattle team is running. They're gonna run. They're gonna run. And DK Metcalf showed that he's going to make it harder for Tyler Lockett to be the guy. Not saying DK Metcalf's a stud, but I do think DK Metcalf's going to be a 4 to 5 catch guy every week for 60 to 80 yards. So just on size alone. We've seen guys in the league perform off size alone, and it could happen again.
I got one more running back sitting. That's Aaron Jones. I'm
Sitting him every
Minnesota.
sitting him every week unless I don't have anyone better.
What?
I wouldn't.
He led the league in yards per carry last year.
Yeah, I don't agree with you on every week, but bad matchup this week.
Plenty of guys have good yards per carry, and next year they drop back down to earth, not playing the yards
I
per
mean, he
carry
just played
game.
the Bears. And now he's playing the Vikings. So
Yeah,
We're going with another start.
have at it.
Riley Ridley, or not Riley Ridley.
Oh,
excuse me, Calvin
yes.
Ridley. Sorry, I just
Fire,
had
fire up them Riley Ridley
I had
shares.
Ridley written down. Calvin Ridley. One, he's better than Terry McLaurin. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And look what Scary Terry did last week against that same Eagles defense. Like, as the number 2, you know, McLaurin could have kind of been de facto number 1, but as the number 2, with Julio Jones being who Julio Jones is, he has to get all of the attention that he deserves. I just think that Ridley has a monstrous game.
oh yeah, that's another game that I think is going to be a shootout. I look for Atlanta to have a big bounce back week on that offense.
And Ridley is, I believe, cheap, like dirt cheap in DFS.
I'd have to check the price. I'm not sure. I don't think he's that cheap.
I'm pretty sure. I want to say he was like,
He's at least mid 5s. He's probably around mid 5 to around 6.
Okay. I was gonna say I
Well,
thought
actually,
I thought it was
don't-
about
I don't know
5,000.
because is that the Sunday night game? That's probably why I didn't see it.
Yeah.
You guys cool if I say to start Chris Godwin this week?
Yeah,
Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
I mean, I think he'll at least catch 6 for 103 and a touchdown.
I agree.
At the least.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
I mean, stone cold lock of the week. Take it to the Bark Bank. I think Godwin will catch 6 for 103 and a touchdown at a minimum. No, I'm joking. That's what he has right now. Godwin is having a coming out party through 2 weeks. But my guy this week,
Calvin Ridley, by the way, $5,000 in DraftKings.
that's a good buy. What look up my next guy. I have it ready to queue up, but I really hope that our league of record league mate, Mr. Eric McGinnis, is not listening, because we've talked back and forth on a deal that will make me look a little silly, but I just want to go for it. Christian Kirk this week against Baltimore, a game where Arizona could be behind. Christian Kirk last week had 15 freaking targets, man. One of the things you want to do in your leagues, look at target share. Christian Kirk had a ton of targets. That's not going away. Like, the connection between Kyler Murray and Christian Kirk is going to be massive this season. Take that to the Bark Bank. Like, Christian Kirk is going to rack up targets. So is Larry Fitzgerald. That's the kind of offense they're going to run. 2 guys are going to be able to be fantasy relevant, possibly top 20 guys. Christian Kirk, I have no fear of. Fire him up every single week from here on out.
4,500 on DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean,
Great
I like
price.
Christian Kirk. I mean, I think Arizona ran 89 plays. I think it was last week. That was like,
Had overtime to help, but
well, yeah, but I mean, still, and their pace of play is just faster than anybody
it
in
is.
the league.
Yeah. And Kyler Murray can run around and find guys, and Christian Kirk's a guy that can run around and get open.
And they're going to be playing from behind, so
Love
they're
it.
going to be throwing the ball. So yeah, easily 10 plus targets this week.
Yes. Stone cold lock. I say that so much.
He'll get that
yeah.
many targets. I just don't know if he'll get 7 catches.
Dude, Kyler Murray was throwing freaking dimes once he got comfortable. I know you.
He's got to play an NFL team first.
Wait, Hux, what do you think? Kyler Murray, what do you think's going to happen this season with Kyler Murray?
I mean, I think he'll have the ups and downs, obviously, as a rookie.
Me too.
And I mean, he showed it first 3 quarters of that game.
Terrible. He was awful.
And then this week is at Baltimore. I
He
mean,
plays one of the best defenses
yeah. I
in the
mean,
league.
this week is, you know, he's
You don't
gonna,
like them
he's,
garbage time stats,
he's
Arms?
going to struggle this week. I mean,
I
you're
think-
playing on the worst. I mean, one of the.
I think if Murray could get pounded this week, just beat up, and they're down so far, they just yank him. Hey,
I mean,
you
I
get
guess
down
I could
3,
see
4
a scenario
scores,
if you're
just
down-
pull him. Why hurt him?
4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and you pull them just to keep them safe. But I don't know. I think. I mean, I still believe in the guy. I think he's a playmaker.
I still don't. Hey, once again, I might eat crow later. I don't believe in him.
You will.
I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Give me another. Give me a sit, Arms.
Aaron Donald.
Going straight IDP.
Defensive line, and whatever you want to call him, depends on the league you're in. Listen, I mean, facing Drew Brees, who has one of the quickest releases, and he's more mobile than most people want to give credit for. I mean, Aaron Donald did. We said it in the offseason. He's going to not do anything near what he did last year, which was, I think, 20.5 sacks. I'll bet he doesn't get a sack this week. He's probably going to leave you a damn near a goose egg, maybe a couple tackles, but that's it. I mean, when you take away Ndamukong Suh, you no longer have to double team 2 guys. You can just focus most of your attention on Donald
Ndamukong Suh still in the Rams?
and Ndamukong Suh. When you take him away,
Oh, okay. About to say. Hux.
Can we go back to offense?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
I didn't write any defense down, so.
piece
do
of
whatever you
crap.
want. Josie Jewell will be a good play again.
Yeah.
Bears running game.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go quarterback here. I love Big Ben this week at home.
Same. Absolute
bounce
same.
back week. I mean, I love him. I love Juju. I think honestly, I think they beat Seattle pretty easily. That's just me.
I agree. 100%.
They didn't look good last week, but
No, they didn't.
Still the Steelers.
I agree.
Didn't they start out slow last year?
I don't remember.
I think they did.
I don't remember yesterday. I don't know.
It's okay.
Okay.
Calm down.
Yeah,
I gotta calm
the
down.
hell down.
All right, I'll throw one out there since the room's getting a little quiet. I think you can fire up your Cleveland Browns this week. I'm not just saying one player. I'm comfortable with Baker. I'm comfortable with Chubb. I'm comfortable with OBJ. The New York Jets don't even have Sam Darnold. There's going to be a lot of 3-and-outs in New York this week.
You don't
Cleveland's-
believe in Trevor Siemian?
Nope. Cleveland's going to be on the field offensively plenty. This is going to be one of those statement games where Cleveland comes out and tries to convince us that they
better be.
are what we were hoping they were.
They better come out and take advantage of this.
They have to. If they start out slow or if this game goes the wrong way at all, like Cleveland's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, you're right.
From the media.
Well,
Not saying season long. It could take them a while to get started.
yeah, but I mean that's demoralizing. You know, you go to a struggling Jets team, and without their starting quarterback and lose.
Right.
I mean, the best receiver on the Jets got there last week. Yeah, Demaryius Thomas.
James Crowder, 14 for 99.
No,
I like
he
that
looked
usage.
fine. He looked fine. That's just not a good all around
The
team.
one thing that worries me about, not worries me, because I mean, if they lose, they lose. But the Jets have a good defensive line, and the Browns' offensive line looked god awful.
It did, yeah.
And I mean, it's not going to really get much better because they just don't have the talent. That's something they didn't fix.
Yeah, they definitely should have spent more time or something on the line. But
They
did
probably
not.
shouldn't have traded Zeitler.
They probably should have acquired Laramie Tunzel instead of the Texans. But
They should probably go
retrospect,
trade for Trent Williams from Washington.
if possible. But still, I still think you fire them all up. I don't think
Yeah,
New
no,
York's.
I like them.
So back to starts, or continuing on starts, going on defense. I'm going to go with Yannick.
he's going
Well-
defensive tackle and defensive end heavy this week.
Hey, listen, Deshaun is, I believe, finished last year as the most sacked quarterback in the league. People can get to him. As mobile as he is, he just hangs onto the ball a little bit too long.
That line will gel with Tunzel there now. It's just going to take him a few weeks.
Listen, I think Yannick gets to the quarterback a time.
You
Maybe
just like saying Yannick.
maybe 1.5 sacks and add in a few tackles. I think he's going to be very playable. You know,
Oh, that was not the I must be the wrong one button.
Nope.
so you don't think he's going to have a fine week
It's this
I
one.
don't.
against the
I must be the wrong one.
Thank
against
you.
the
Thanks for
most sacked
admitting it.
quarterback in the league? Okay. So, yeah, fire him up. If you left him on your bench last week in favor of somebody else other than Sam Hubbard, fire him up.
I'm not firing him up. Houston gets out to a lead and runs the ball. I hate your pick arms.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to offense. I really like Derrick Henry this week.
Oh, me too. I like Derrick Henry all year. another
I still
another
think he's
pick
going to
arms
be
just absolutely
completely
hates
I mean,
yo-yo-ish.
I had him
Dude.
as a sit last week, so I'm going to start this week. I'm going to see if I can
the
don't know.
the Titans
be
team.
wrong on him every week, I guess.
That team is going to use Derrick Henry the right way, and the dude can break tackles and he can run. Did you? I mean, again, he outran the defense last week.
Yeah.
This dude is
75-yard touchdown
This
catch.
dude looks like one of us carrying the ball, and he outran the defense again.
I think the biggest thing about him is he has ridiculous top end speed for as big as he is.
I'm a truther right now.
But the downside is I don't think his burst is insane. It's the explosion of when he hits somebody and just it's like, all right, well, that guy's got the tackle. No, he doesn't.
it's the kind of running back I want.
I'm just not ready to trust him yet.
That touchdown was also a reception.
75 yards?
Yeah. He's picking up where he left off, and I don't see him slowing down because he's fast.
I have to see consistency before I'm willing to play him.
You just hate your guys, and that's all there is to
No,
it.
I'll admit if he starts being consistently better instead of having 4 games of relevance.
Listen, this stopped being the player hater's ball a long time ago.
No, it didn't.
Hate,
Not
hate,
for
hate,
me.
hate.
Not for me.
Yeah. Stop being a player hater ball.
Any tight ends we like this week?
Yes. I have no qualms whatsoever about throwing Hawkinson back out again.
Oh, not at all.
Not at all. Los Angeles, LA,
A lie.
LA, Los Angeles, yeah, they're pretty good. Austin Eckler's pretty good. Keenan Allen's still good. They're going to find a guy at tight end to get it done for him. I don't know if it's Virgil Green or someone else, but Detroit is still going to have to throw the ball. T.J. Hawkinson, I saw it on Twitter. I'd like to credit him, but Hawkinson did look Gronkian last week, and he's on a team with a former Patriots coach. That's their dude right there. T.J. Hawkinson is their dude. Has me a tiny bit worried about my Galladay shares, to be honest. Not a ton.
Speaking of Gronk,
I was expecting a big leap out of Galladay. Now I'm expecting the same stat line from last year, which is good. I'll take it. But, man, T.J. Hawkinson might be their dude.
speaking of Gronk, go pick him up. He's coming back.
I still have him in the league of record.
You do.
He is. I'm 100%
I
certain he's
traded
coming
him
back.
to you. Pretty cheap, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't dropping the guy. I'll hold up that roster spot.
Let's talk some quarterbacks. We only touched on Big Ben. Let's go with a quarterback sit this week, and don't say Case Keenum. Let's go with a legitimate quarterback sit.
Quarterback sit.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Tell us why.
On the road in Cincinnati, he didn't look good against Tampa Bay last week. And I just don't think they have the weapons. I don't know. I mean, I like Debo Samuel or Samuel Debo, whatever his name is.
It's Samuel Debo.
Samuel Debo.
It's not.
It's Samuel Debo.
Debo's
Debo's not a first name, but Samuel is. See?
Yeah,
It's just backwards somehow. Got his first name on the back of his jersey.
I know somebody named Debo. It's Friday. Debo.
It's my bike.
I'm not comfortable with Andy Dalton quite yet. I don't see another 400-yard passing game in his future this week.
I'm going to give particularly a DFS sit. I don't think you can play Aaron Rodgers this week.
I was totally done talking about Dalton. I'm glad you let me.
Well, you
get
stopped
out of
talking,
that.
so I assumed.
Glad you
Yeah.
let me out of that one.
I'm not comfortable with him. Okay.
What's that say on your notes? Arms talks more than what's that say?
It says sit Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, said Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, the Vikings allowed 12 points last week against Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley, and Austin freaking Hooper. Like, you only allowed 12 points against that offense. I don't really think that the Packers offense is that much better than the Atlanta offense right now. So, yeah, I'm sitting Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to – obviously, you fire up your studs, right? If this is a season long, yeah, I get it. But in DFS, no.
The only thing, I mean, Green Bay, Minnesota, division game, rivalry, and it's in Green Bay. That's the only thing that throws me off a little bit there. But, I mean, I'm not playing them in DraftKings, but I'm not sitting them in, like you said, season long. I'm not sitting them.
You can't sit him in season long because he's probably far and away your best quarterback.
Should be.
Yeah. If you
shouldn't be.
You probably paid a
two
price for him. That's the sad thing.
Top guys, if you need to trade one.
You overdrafted quarterback if you have two top guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's got me excited this week. Since Arms takes over, and I can sell this mic. You know how much I can get out of this mic? I don't even need it anymore.
It's a nice mic.
I don't even need it anymore. I can just sell it, get some money, play some DraftKings, play some MyBookie.
Honestly, I just realized you both have the same mic.
Yeah, there's a third one.
I want one.
It's coming. It's on its way. It's literally on its way.
All right. I'm excited now.
Okay, here's another guy I got as a start. I had Andy Dalton as a sit. I don't know if anybody caught that or not.
Did you tell us why?
You said, I'm not ready to trust him yet, and stopped.
Not ready to trust him yet. And then I swallowed spit, and Arms took his opportunity. No,
I can't wait to hear the episode you guys put out when I'm on vacation.
Oh, man, we are so much talk time.
The
Neil,
two episodes.
Neil will be here. He'll be all right.
Okay.
People are going to be like, dude,
He'll fit right in.
Hux killed it this week.
I hope.
Hux murdered it.
I hope. Anything to give me a break.
You hear all that info just pouring out of that sweet, manly, bearded face. Kirk Cousins. I am not afraid of Kirk Cousins. I saw somebody on Twitter posted that Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs were going to be like the biggest bust of 2019. Kirk Cousins is not going to throw for 80 yards in a game again this year. It's not going to happen. Kirk Cousins is going to have big games. against Green Bay, that's the makings of a huge game for Kirk Cousins. I'm not afraid of him. I'm rolling him out. Diggs should be another week removed from the Nicky Nack injury that he had. Adam Thielen's still there. I know that Dalvin Cook had a great game. Kirk Cousins is going to have a really good game against Green Bay. It's not going to be 80 yards. And even that comment on Twitter, even though he only threw for 80 yards, we still got 7 points or more out of both of those guys. Not saying that's great, but on 80 yards, they didn't give us an egg.
Yep.
Somebody should have gave us an egg on 80 yards. So, yeah, Cousins, roll him out against Green Bay. No worries.
We don't sits or starts. You know what starts?
Whatever you want.
I feel like
I'm done trying to
I feel like
talk.
you almost have to start Derek Carr. Just the shootout, not even shootout potential, the garbage time potential.
You're going to have to tell me why for sure.
The Chiefs. They play the Chiefs. If it's close, it's going to be a shootout. If it's not close, there's going to be a ton of garbage time. I mean, Carr's going to be heaving the rock a ton. And it kind of ties in, you got to start Waller.
Worried about interceptions with Carr this week.
Not concerned.
Throws at least 3 this week.
I think
To
two
who?
minimum.
Honey Badger? He's got like 3
The-
career
the
interceptions.
Chiefs.
The
He throws-
Chiefs.
he
Yeah,
throws
he's
them
going
to
to
the
throw him to the
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Okay.
If you need us to be more specific, probably the defensive backs is what. If I had to
Okay,
guess,
thanks.
if I had to take,
You've been very
stab at it.
insightful.
Yeah. Well, when I get to talk, I can do that sometimes.
You done?
I am now.
Do you guys have another start or sit?
I do not. I've exhausted.
Honestly,
I've
on my
exhausted
sense, and like I mentioned it earlier in the show, I have Dak Prescott wrote down as a sit this week, and it's not popular at all. But I just think they're going to dominate the game by running the ball, and I think Zeke has 150 yards.
I agree with that.
And
Zeke is going to have a good game.
I think
mean-
Zeke has a good game, but I just still think I think Dak does fine. I think that
I mean,
he's
he'd
not
probably
gonna
be serviceable, but I don't think. I mean, going into the season, we all hate on Dak, all of us.
Yeah.
And odds are we're probably not starting Dak into week 1. If
Yep.
we have him on our team, he probably was on our bench.
I have no Dak shares. I've never owned one.
I don't have him either.
And
But
at this point, I won't pay the price.
yeah, but I just think. I looked at the career stats against Washington. He's 5-1 against Washington, 6 passing touchdowns in 6 games. He has 4 rushing touchdowns in those 6 games. But it shows me right there that they run all over Washington. I think it happens again this week.
I'm going to interrupt this for a slight news break.
Oh,
2 news breaks.
Antonio Brown?
3 news breaks. Antonio's one of them.
Oh,
Devin
of course
White.
he is.
Devin White left the game. Left knee injury. Won't return.
That sucks.
It does.
I was wondering why he only had like 1 point.
I know it. Point number 2, the accuser of Antonio Brown, Brittany Taylor, has agreed to meet with the NFL next week.
Oh,
Yeah, that's not good for AB. Third thing, which pisses me off as a Dolphins fan, absolutely pisses me off. This is not how you rebuild. Minka Fitzpatrick has been granted the right to seek out a trade.
wow.
Wow. One of your
Are
youngest
you
pieces.
kidding me? Like, seriously? If you can't get Minka to buy into the rebuild, every one of those guys should want to trade. I know what everybody's thinking. Like, yeah, it's Miami. They should all want to trade. Yeah, I know, but guys like Xavier Howard, I know he got paid, but he's okay.
If you can't get him, is this the 2nd year, 3rd year?
Second year.
2nd year guy to buy in what you got. Maybe you don't have the right coach.
You might not. Something could be wrong if you can't convince
Flores
this
is
young
coach?
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, really? Yes. Go ahead and seek out a trade. Give me a break.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
What, 1 week after he got burned for a long touchdown, like, well, you done with Minka Fitzpatrick? Like, he's not any good now?
No,
Come on.
I'm not done with him. You know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, I guess it could depend on how that went down. Maybe Minka Fitzpatrick stormed into the office. I don't want to play for this team anymore. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, they're trying
Do
to
you-
rack up draft picks, so...
I mean, do
you
you
can
want
get
a
a
guy
first
like that
for
on
him.
your team?
but he was a first.
Yeah.
No, I know, but that's the only.
He was a high first.
That's the only thing that gives
You're
me
going to trade him for a fourth.
exactly, exactly. If they don't get a first out of him, I'm livid,
As you should
absolutely
be.
livid. If they get a first out of him, sure, fine. You want to bring in your guys, Minka? This regime didn't draft him last year. Sure, fine, go ahead. But you better damn well get the value that you put into him. I'm done. I've just thrown that out there. Being a Dolphins fan is hard this year. I don't believe a damn thing they're doing.
I wouldn't either.
I kind of do. I'm lost right now with it.
They're running.
Laramie Tunzel is a bad MFer on the offensive line. Offensive line's the most important position in the league. Left tackle specifically.
Yeah.
Just as important as quarterback in a lot of
There
cases.
was for years the offensive line left tackle was like one of the highest paid players in the league.
Oh, yeah.
As it should be.
Good thing it's cool in here because I'm hot. I'm hot right now.
Yeah, that's.
I'm going Stephen A. You guys got any more starts and sits?
Yes, I got 2 more starts. Sam Hubbard, I just think 10 tackles,
Stud.
10 tackles, 2 sacks last week. I'm not saying he's going to do that again, but I think he's going to be a week-to-week stud.
Here's a stud.
Had full confidence in him in the offseason. Nothing's changed. All he did was actually build my confidence in him.
Are you trying to say all he did is win, 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 no matter what?
Yes.
Okay.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
And Kazir White for the Chargers.
Could be the guy.
Yeah. The Chargers been looking for that guy who's, the stud, defensive dominant player. Yeah, he's not the only linebacker on the team. Thomas Davis is there. I know he's good, but Kazir White, young, has a lot of years left in him. Guys, he's going to be damn near free on the waiver wire. I picked him up for $1 because nobody else bid.
Someone Hux was talking about Tracy Walker, Detroit Lions.
Oh, yeah.
They've been looking for a guy at safety that can, wrap up guys, be a secure tackler. Tracy Walker looked like he could be the guy.
Could be. I mean, I think 9 tackles.
Yep. Hot waiver pickup if you're in IDP leagues.
Yeah.
And I know you're about to do your DFS thing, so I'm just going to rattle off a couple. I am absolutely firing up Josh Gordon this week in every league format I possibly can, and Julian Edelman same way. I just think that they are primed to destroy.
Ooh, it's fire in your voice. A destroy.
I mean, they're cheap. They're not very expensive in DraftKings, comparatively speaking. If you look at the players around them, I think the boom potential for those 2 guys are just insane.
Can't disagree. Boy, McCaffrey's putting up a dud of a game.
Yep. No sooner than you said he's the best
He's-
running back in football.
He's my sit of the week right now. Sit McCaffrey. My God.
I had him as my captain tonight, so I don't want to talk about it.
Meanwhile, Godwin's up to 8 receptions, 121 and a touchdown.
Yeah, Barker's updating his projection on Godwin this week.
Glad I started him in my league record. Ducks. Hey, Ducks, give us some DFS.
All
lead,
right.
lead these folks out. Lead them to pasture. Take them to take these horses to some water. I don't believe a damn thing you say. Dolphins suck. Take them. Get it done.
Well, let's hope week 2 treats us a little better than week 1 did. Seems like I had my quarterbacks backwards last week. But let's start with quarterbacks. I love Big Ben. He's my favorite quarterback play this week at 5,800. I really think Pittsburgh just, honestly, I think they put up 35 plus points against Seattle, and they look like Big Ben is at home as just a different quarterback. I like Jared Goff in a shootout with the Saints, 5,900, and I don't think these guys are going to really hold a whole lot of ownership because you guys got Mahomes and Lamar Jackson at top. They're expensive, but the guys are going to look at the matchups and look what they did last week. And so I think the ownership is going to be a little lower. And I like Josh Allen at 5,300. I think he's priced way too low.
He's probably going to get some running yards this week, I think.
See, I don't know. I do think that they found their running back, but on the flip side, it's going to be a competitive game. I'm not sold on Josh Allen this year because, well, he didn't have the 93 rushing yards we were accustomed to week 1. So
I shouldn't have unmuted him, should I, Hux?
No, but I mean at 5,300, I think he's at a good price, and factors in a
But
lot.
how much has Ben? Just out of curiosity.
5,800. That's why he's my favorite play of the week. I just think that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can find your 500 somewhere else.
That DK at the top of your page, is it DraftKings or Metcalf?
We'll get to Metcalf.
Okay.
I hope not.
My quarterback sit this week is Aaron Rodgers at 6,500. Just not a good matchup.
Also, say Andrew
price.
Luck.
If I'm going to pay 6,500, I'm going to pay 200 more for Lamar Jackson or go another, I think, 700 more to Mahomes. Actually, I think Deshaun Watson's like 100 more than Rodgers. So I'm paying for them guys, not Aaron Rodgers. The running backs, Alvin Kamara is my favorite this week, 8,200. I think, if the Saints are, if it's going to be a shootout like I expect, I think Kamara is going to be the beneficiary on the Saints. He's my favorite guy at the top this week. Eckler, I think he's an automatic play this week at 6,100. Another good matchup, and if he's going to get the touches that he did week 1, 6,100 is just, it's too cheap.
Don't
I'll buy
disagree
that.
there. Don't disagree at all. And Hux is your dude. Hux, as far as money goes, me and Arms, we don't win any money. We
No.
win dynasty leagues. Hux don't win dynasty leagues, but he wins DFS.
Don't recall either one of you winning anything.
Wait a minute here.
I mean,
We're in some
are we
good-
talking
Wait a
about
minute.
Hotown? Is that the league several years ago?
I've won Hotown.
I've won Hotel.
Have you won Hotown?
I don't remember.
I didn't think so.
Oh, well, keep going DFS, Hux.
All right. Josh Jacobs, 4,700. He's going to be probably the highest owned running back this week, just because of the price. But like I talked about earlier, I'm interested to see in a different kind of game script this week that I expect playing from behind.
So is he a fade or is he?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm going to play him. Play him in cash games. If you want to fade him in large tournaments,
So
go ahead.
in theory, if you pay down for Josh Jacobs, you get to pay up for Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I mean, it would let you fit Kamara in. I think there's enough value around. Not as much as week 1, just because those prices were out forever.
Yeah.
One other play I like this week, and he's going to be lower owned, but he had 17 carries for Baltimore last week. Gus Edwards at 3,200,
Gummy Gator.
and another. I mean, if he adds a touchdown to what he did last week, it's a good fantasy week.
Agreed.
And he could easily add 1 or 2. I mean, he could. The touchdowns could reverse with him and Ingram this week. But we all expect them to be up, pretty easily this week in that matchup. So at 3,200, you're not going to play them in a single entry tournament
Yeah.
or a 3 entry. But if you're playing a 20 entry or more than that, throw a couple shares of Gus Edwards in there. You'll probably have more than what he's owned at. He's going to be less than 5% owned,
So-
3% owned.
Do you have Tariq Cohen on your page?
I do not.
All right, he's at 4,500. What do you think of the value of Tariq Cohen? That's someone who I keep wavering back and forth. Do I want him in? Do I play
I think
Evan
he's
Ingram
gonna
in
be-
my flex instead?
I'm
I'm just
wouldn't-
curious how you feel about
Well, I
him.
mean, if flex wise, I usually get running back in my flex. That's just a personal preference of mine.
Okay.
But so I wouldn't go the double tight end. I'm not saying that could be a good play, because I mean Ingram, he's gonna get 10 plus targets. I mean, should easily. Get,
Another guy I like this week, I'll just throw it out there since he reminded me, like, everybody's scared to death of David Montgomery for a few weeks, but I think Montgomery has a good game this week.
I hope so.
I think he does.
My sit this week, and you're probably going to disagree with me, but my sit this week, and it's more of price than anything, is David Johnson. He's 7,100. If he doesn't get the receptions this week,
At that price in
then
DraftKings, I don't disagree
yeah.
with you.
and that was my main reason for a sit. If he doesn't get the receptions, he's not going to meet value.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that in DFS. Not at all.
Let's get on to wide receiver real quick. I'll run through them a little quicker.
There you go.
Juju's my favorite wide receiver this week to go with Big Ben. I love the Rams wide receivers. Juju's 7,500. I think it's a pretty good price for him. I mean,
what's Mike Thomas, like $8,000?
8, and then
Yeah,
I
he's
think
up there.
Hopkins is 81.
Yeah.
But I like Juju out of everybody this week.
Christian Kirk.
How much was Kirk? What would we say? 45.
45.
That's great.
A guy that should get 10 plus targets. That's pretty good. A guy that's right around him, Sutton, 4,200. Not a great matchup against Chicago, but he should get the volume, and it's a good price.
One thing about Chicago, though, if you look what they did to Devontae Adams, they're not going to triple team Cortland Sutton.
No.
You know, like that's what they were doing to Devontae Adams. They had a lot of attention to him. Even though, yeah, they shut down that passing game pretty well, they're not. I mean, you figure in Deshaun Hamilton, you know, Emmanuel Sanders, they have to devote attention elsewhere. So,
Oh, yeah. I got DK Metcalf down 4,400.
boo.
With the targets and Lockett being hurt, it's a good price, and I think Seattle's going to have to throw the ball if they want to even be close to Pittsburgh. And James Washington is my flyer.
James Washington.
3,600. I'll probably have him in my stacks with Pittsburgh with Ben and Juju. I'll throw him in there also.
I mean, he didn't do a ton last week, but
No,
Dante
when he had-
Moncrief dropped the ball so many damn
Oh,
times.
yeah.
That's where the James Washington play comes in for us.
Well, and I look what John Ross just did to Seattle.
Mhm.
I think James Washington can
Okay.
beat him deep. I mean, he only has to beat him deep once
Yeah.
to meet a $3,600 price tag. My sit this week, and it's hard to sit this guy because he's going to get peppered with targets, but I'm going to go with Devontae Adams, go with sitting Aaron Rodgers. Just not a good matchup, and it's 7,700. Like, I'm going to pay up for the other guys before I pay up for him.
Okay.
Some tight ends I like. Waller, 3,300. Hawkinson's 3,000. Those guys are going to be insanely owned, but, I mean, why not? Plug them in. And Delaney Walker, 3,500 if you want to go away from the two popular guys. I think Walker won't be as popular.
That's some cheap, high quality tight
Yeah,
ends
exactly.
right
I
there.
mean, you don't have to pay up for tight end this week.
It-
And they don't I mean, Kelsey's over 7,000. I'm not going to pay. I mean, it's Kelsey.
And Kittle's at 68.
Yeah. And I mean, Kelsey could put up 100 plus 2 touchdowns, and he's probably not going to have the ownership this week. I mean, he's going to be lower owned this week just because of those cheaper guys.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
mean,
not saying it wouldn't be. It's going to be a contrarian play. I believe to go with. Now, if you're stacking the Chiefs, play Kelsey.
yeah, but that's. I mean, you've got to go cheap elsewhere if you're going to be able to play Kelsey and Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly I like it. You could go cheap if you do a game stack with the Chiefs Raiders because you got 4,700 if you want to play Jacobs. You got 4,400 for Tyrell Williams. Or if you don't want to play Kelsey, you could play Waller. It just depends on how you want to differentiate that
Okay.
stack. But I mean, you can go Mahomes, Sammy, Kelsey, Tyrell, and Jacobs. There's your game stack, and then I'd have to plug that in and see what's left over. But you can go cheap at defense with like a $2,600 Bengals defense or a $2,400 Steelers defense, and it'll allow you to get a 6,100 Eckler in there.
Okay.
I mean, a couple other stacks. I already mentioned the Pittsburgh stack. I like the Rams stack I like Woods and Cooks, and then Kamara if you want to bring it back with the Saints player. And then, my Homer Buffalo stack of John Brown, Singletary, and Josh Allen.
Ooh.
We'll delete that one out.
Well, yeah, we'll delete that one. I'll edit that one out.
It's a cheap stack.
There you
As
go.
it should be.
Hux with the DFS report.
Thanks, Hux.
Hux with the DFS report.
I got it. The Telegraph thing.
Barks out.
Good night.
See ya.
This concludes another episode of the Back Row Fantasy Show.